What is going on, guys? It's Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including details of Adam Cole's secret meeting with Vince McMahon, initial plans for Randy Orton before his absence from WWE TV, former Intercontinental Champion backstage at Smackdown, news on Triple H's involvement in the recent WWE releases, plus much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get into our first story. Our first story relates to details of Adam Cole's secret meeting with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, which took place before Smackdown on Friday. As we all know by now, Cole's NXT contract is set to run out this month. His contract initially ran out in July, however, Cole signed a small extension to his contract, which explains why he's still on WWE TV. According to sources, Cole has a lot of interest from AEW, and with his real-life girlfriend Britt Baker being one of their top stars, it would make a lot of sense for Cole to jump ship. However, it was reported on Friday that Cole attended a top-secret meeting with McMahon to discuss his future in the company, and the meeting acted as an attempt to get Cole to re-sign with WWE. According to Fightful, there are concrete plans in place for Cole on the main roster, and McMahon is said to be a personal fan of Cole, who expressed this directly to him in the meeting itself. Whether or not this will be enough for Cole to sign a brand new contract is unclear. Cole is one of the most decorated superstars in the entire WWE, and he can easily be one of WWE's top stars. It's just a matter of whether Cole will get a solid opportunity on the main roster, or if he will suffer a fate similar to that of other NXT call-ups and quickly lose his spark. Another factor in Cole potentially not re-signing is the fact that on Friday, WWE decided to release Bobby Fish. Fish was one of Cole's closest friends in NXT, and the two were part of the Undisputed Era stable at one stage. Fish's release obviously rules out any chance of the stable ever getting back together on WWE TV, and naturally could hinder the chances of Cole remaining with the company. Our next story relates to former world champion Randy Orton and the initial creative plans before his absence from WWE TV. As we all know, Orton was in the middle of a fun storyline involving Riddle, and it looked like the two were in pursuit of the Raw Tag Team titles. However, Orton was unexpectedly pulled from Raw, and he hasn't made an appearance since June. It was reported by the Wrestling Observer that the initial plans for Orton before his absence were for him and Riddle to feud with AJ Styles and Omos, leading to a match at the SummerSlam pay-per-view for the Raw Tag Team titles. With Orton still off WWE TV currently, it's unclear if these plans are still going ahead, or if WWE will go in a different direction for the pay-per-view. It's also unclear as to why Orton is currently off WWE TV. Reports state that the reason for Orton's absence is being kept secret. Orton was initially supposed to return on the August 2nd edition of Raw, but obviously the former WWE Champion never appeared. Hopefully Orton will be back on TV soon, and the match at SummerSlam can go ahead. In other news, it's been reported that former WWE star Curtis Axel was backstage at Smackdown on July 30th. The show was in Axel's hometown, and he was there to visit friends and former colleagues. Axel was released in 2020 as part of the WWE budget cuts, and Axel has been very quiet in relation to his WWE release since, as he seems to be a very private individual. On July 31st, Axel tweeted, "Last night," which appears to be a direct reference to his visit to SmackDown the night prior. This tweet has led to fan speculation that Axel may have been there to discuss a return to the company. However, PW Insider reports this isn't the case. Our next story relates to the recent NXT releases. As we all know, this weekend, a number of NXT superstars were released from WWE. These included former NXT North American champion Bronson Reed, who looked to be positioned for a main roster call-up before his shocking release. We now have a lot more details about what led to Reed's and the other NXT superstars' releases, thanks to Dave Meltzer from The Observer. According to Meltzer, Triple H had nothing to do with the NXT releases. The names that were released were decided by Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and John Laurinaitis. Why Triple H, who has full creative control over NXT, wouldn't be involved in this process is unclear. However, Triple H having a number of his top talent released without his input isn't the best move from McMahon. Meltzer would go on to say that a source informed him that the new memo for NXT is for the show to have no more midgets. Meltzer added, "No more midgets, no one starting in their 30s. They want people who can be box office attractions and main characters. Kind of the line has been, when they get to NXT, we have to teach them not to do indie style, and then when they come to the main roster, we have to teach them not to work NXT style." Meltzer also revealed that he believes the WWE releases aren't finished and expects more releases in the upcoming days and weeks. In other news, a former WWE Tag Team Champion has revealed what Brock Lesnar is really like behind the scenes. Former Tag Team Champion Heath Slater recently spoke to Title Match Wrestling to discuss what Lesnar is like when the cameras are off and if Lesnar is stiff in the ring. Slater began by discussing how Lesnar gets a bad reputation for not caring about the wrestling business, but in reality, he's just looking out for himself. Slater revealed, "Yeah, I think he gets a bad rap for it, but then again, he's looking out for him. That's just how he's always been, and that's how he always will be. You know, he looks out for himself and makes sure he's okay, and there you go." In relation to how Lesnar is backstage, Slater revealed that Lesnar is laid back and never causes any issues. He stated, "Honestly, I don't think he ever causes anything. Every time I've been in the mix with him, he's like, I don't know, maybe this, maybe that. I'm just like, maybe I won't die." Elsewhere in the wrestling world, it looks like Andrade El Idolo wants his entire family in AEW. Andrade departed WWE in March of this year after a rather underwhelming run on the main roster. Since Andrade's debut in AEW in June, he's been presented rather well, and it looks like he's going to be one of AEW's top stars moving forward. Interestingly, according to Dave Meltzer, Andrade has a desire to see his entire family in AEW, and this extends to his fiancée Charlotte Flair. Charlotte is well established for being one of the top female stars in the entire WWE. She has won the women's title a total of 12 times, and there doesn't appear to be any reason why Charlotte would leave WWE. However, with WWE recently releasing her father Ric Flair, this all could have changed. It's reported that Flair had issues with Charlotte's booking, and he complained directly to Vince McMahon. It's unclear if Charlotte shared these thoughts, or if it was just Ric who believed Charlotte's booking wasn't up to par. In relation to Andrade wanting his family in AEW, Meltzer would reveal, "Andrade has told people that he wants the whole family there. And by the family, it's, Rush, Bestia, Dragon Lee, him, Ashley, Charlotte, Rick, that's what he wants. Ashley, I don't know her, I'm certainly not going to speak for her, I sense that she wants to be in WWE, that's the big leagues to her." Our final story today relates to Finn Balor and how Balor may be already looking to return to NXT. Balor had a successful second run in NXT from October 2019 to July 2021. During this run, Balor had a reign as NXT champion and put on a number of acclaimed matches with the likes of Kyle O'Reilly, Riddle, and Pete Dunne. Balor is now being positioned as one of the top babyfaces on the Smackdown brand, and he looks set to begin a high-profile feud with Universal Champion Roman Reigns in the upcoming weeks. Although Balor is being positioned extremely well on SmackDown, this hasn't stopped the inaugural Universal Champion from wanting a third run on the Black and Gold brand. Speaking to WWE Deutschland, Balor revealed, "And I used to think that other things in my career would mean more, and really, the 2 times at NXT, for different reasons, have been 2 of the most beautiful periods of my career, like personally and professionally. I feel like I grow so much in NXT. I really feel a part of the team. It feels like a bond amongst the guys that are there, And not only the guys in the ring, but the stuff behind the scenes and the producers and the trainers, and that's something that I really feel attached to and really feel passionate about, and I know I've had 2 runs there, and hopefully in the future, there will be a third." There you have it, folks, the wildest wrestling news, stories, and rumors you need to know. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time back for some more wrestling content.